Okay, so we are going to attempt within the first hour of the day, because I don't have a lot of time. It's always the case with me, right? To make the sidecar attached to this bike, just for today. We have a tweed ride event coming up, and my husband wants to ride this bike, and I don't blame him. This is a really cool bike that we scored really cheap. It's a 3-speed that all works, everything functions, and really, really nice bike. So I think what I'm going to do is just come off of, kind of like I did on the tandem, just come off of here. Actually, it'll be on the other side, but come off of that rear fork. And I think what I'm going to use, there is a lawnmower out here that we have robbed lots of parts off of. By the way, got the bus back. Story on this thing, switched it out to an electronic ignition. The points were not able to be dialed in even with a dwell meter. So I think if I take this bracket off of there, and it's got a sliding adjustable here, if I drill a tiny hole here or in one of these other points, we can make that work. And I think I probably will only just need maybe one of them. I don't know if I want to cut it there or leave the whole thing, but I think we can make this work if we come off of that, and it will work relatively quickly. So I think I could just take both of these off, turn them so they face each other, and it'll wrap right around that fork. We may have to add some inner tube or something to adjust the width, but that's what we're going to try and do real quick. And like I said, if I can't make that happen pretty soon, we have another bike we can ride at this event, but it'd be really cool to take the sidecar since we got it done. So that's where we're at. I'm going to take those off and go in and see if we can't make those fit on that bicycle. Okay, so in looking at this, it's going to be just perfect, I think. There's a shifter cable comes through, the adjuster for it. I think that's what that is. No, it's on the other side, but I guess you can run that maybe both sides. Not sure. I don't really know how a 3-speed works. Never had one apart. So this has something to do with that 3-speed hub. So what I'm going to have to do is tub this hole, drill it out more, and then that'll bolt right up to it and just be perfect. So I think I'm just going to drill that out a little bit, and then the other one that goes on the back side, I'm just going to cut and notch down under it so that it'll bolt up. But I mean, it doesn't get much more perfect than that. I mean, look at that. Absolutely perfect. So that's what I think that's going to work just fine. And then I'll just weld a piece coming off of this. I'll actually probably use that lawnmower handle that we were going to use for the stroller. So probably just use this to go into it. I'll either weld it or bolt to it and just come right off of that. So that should be a pretty easy mock-up. So we're going to get that drilled out and on there and see what we get. So it took me about 2 hours, but after a few trials and errors and retries and re-welds, this is what we came up with. And for today, it's what we're going to stick with. It's not perfect. I was going to ride that one, but I think I'm going to let my husband ride that one, maybe, and I'll ride this one. It's a little tricky. If you've never ridden with a sidecar, it's a little weird feeling. So we're gonna go with it. It's not perfect, but for today, this little ride we're doing today, it'll be just fine. So that's what we're gonna go with. Not ideal, and definitely should not be using copper as a support bar. But that's what we've got for right now. And I may actually loosen that and try and shove that in a little further. So that's what we've got. We'll see how it goes. So I made a couple of things. I got this really secured. when you go down the road, it'd vibrate and make a noise. It's strong, it's secure, but it just would spin around. Plus, my kid comes behind and wants to spin the tire, which, you know, whatever. Sewed a inner tube to a piece of leather, actually the leftover piece from that belt, and then just put a pin, one of those leather pins through it, so you just pull out on it to release it. And it's actually cut in a V so that it goes around, so it can't slide side to side. I went ahead and wired up the battery, good and solid. See if I can get a picture in there. It's basically just zip tied to a couple hooks, and I'll just spray paint everything black so you won't notice it. And so now everything works by the switch, and I secured the steering wheel. It just spins out here now instead of spinning in the shaft. Great idea. Poor design for a toddler. I'm gonna do something about these screws here. Probably just put little rubber nipples over them, because these are real secure, and I don't want it to be floppy. So this rattle should be gone. I still need to bolt this up a little better. This fender is really floppy. I just have a cotter pin through that one. We were trying to hurry to get this set up ready to go, and so I just stuck that through there. But of course, first thing the kid grabs is the fender and jerks it around, so that's got to be fixed.
Mike, you got a car coming?